By 2035, over half of all revenue in the auto industry won't come from selling hardware. It's going to come from software and digital services. The business model that stood for a century, selling cars, is on a collision course with obsolescence. The entire battlefield has moved from steel and engines to code and connectivity.
This is Auto Read. We decode the machines and the markets that move the world.
Everyone is focused on the switch to electric vehicles, but honestly, that's a head fake. It's a distraction from the real revolution. The core change, the architectural shift, is from a car being a mechanical object to a software-defined vehicle, or SDV. And this isn't just about adding a few new features. It's about tearing up the blueprint and re-engineering the vehicle from the ground up with software as its central nervous system. And don't just take my word for it. According to the Automotive 2035 report by IBM, a staggering 75% of industry executives now admit that by 2035, brand value isn't going to be about horsepower or handling anymore. Nope, it's going to be defined by the user experience, how seamless the connectivity is, how intelligent the platform feels. The car is literally becoming a high-performance computer on wheels, and the software? Well, the software is its soul. But here's the catch. To run that kind of advanced software, the hardware underneath, the very platform the vehicle is built on, has to be completely rethought. It's simple, really. You just can't run a modern operating system on legacy hardware.
The old way of doing things, even with a lot of modern EVs, is basically just bolting software onto a mechanical-first design. You've got things like steering and braking that are physically connected to what the driver does. This creates a ton of complexity, makes upgrades nearly impossible, and basically locks the vehicle into whatever state it was in when it left the factory.
So what's the engineering breakthrough that changes all this? It's a concept called X-by-wire technology. By ripping out the old mechanical linkages for steering, for braking, for throttle, and replacing them with purely electronic systems, you finally decouple the physical hardware from the software that controls it. This is the auto industry's big moment. It's like IT moving from those old, clunky mainframes to a fully virtualized, scalable cloud architecture.
And what this decoupling does is, well, it's a game changer. It lets you create a clean, flat, modular platform, basically a skateboard chassis. And that skateboard can be the foundation for any kind of vehicle body, any kind of software application you can dream up. The hardware becomes a standardized, easy-to-service utility, while the software becomes the real source of value and what makes a brand unique.
Now, this isn't just theory. This is engineering reality. The technical data, corroborated by RE Automotive and Monroe & Associates on their RE-Corner platform, shows exactly how this works. You have drive, steering, braking, and suspension, all packed into one single modular unit at each wheel. We're talking 48-volt steer-by-wire, 100 kilowatts of peak power at each corner, and a zonal architecture that makes over-the-air updates and AI-driven predictive maintenance possible. So what does all this mean on the ground? Well, the strategic implications are huge. For commercial fleets, a totally flat chassis means you can maximize your cargo space. All-wheel steering means a big Class 5 truck can have the same turning circle as a family sedan. And maybe most importantly, service is transformed. A corner module fails, you can swap it out in under an hour. That drastically cuts down time and the total cost of ownership. Plus, the whole platform is basically autonomous ready from day one. Now, you might think this is all just about market trends, right? About staying competitive. You'd be wrong. This pivot to software isn't just a good idea. For any automaker that wants to sell cars in the developed world, it's now a non-negotiable legal requirement. Let me introduce you to two regulations causing sleepless nights in boardrooms across the globe. UNEC Regulations 155 and 156. R155 is the what? It forces every automaker to have a certified cybersecurity management system, or CSMS, for the entire life of the vehicle. Then R156 comes in as the how, mandating secure, verifiable, over-the-air software updates. As you can see here, these regulations essentially build a legal cage around the automakers. As documented by firms like Svitla Systems, R155 and 156 are the law. Then you have ISO/SAE 21434, which is the engineering playbook that tells them how to build secure systems to comply with that law. And here's the kicker. Since July 2024, this has been mandatory for all new vehicles made for UNEC markets. That's Europe, Japan, South Korea. You get the idea. Legacy vehicle architecture simply can't comply with this, period.
So this regulatory hammer doesn't just force a change in technology, it completely rewires the industry's entire business model. It's the key that unlocks a whole new revenue battlefield. So let's follow the money.
According to that same IBM Automotive 2035 report, the migration of value is, well, it's just staggering. By 2035, software and digital services are projected to completely eclipse hardware, making up 51% of all industry revenue. The main business of an automaker will no longer be selling you a physical car. It will be selling you high-margin, recurring revenue digital services.
And here's the really critical part. This new revenue is built on subscriptions. As this chart shows, the money will flow from premium connectivity, from functional upgrades you can unlock with software, from autonomous driving features, from new in-vehicle experiences. It's all part of the car-as-a-service model. The vehicle itself becomes a platform for generating revenue continuously, long after you've driven it off the lot.
So when you put it all together, the engineering demands, the regulatory deadlines, and the massive financial incentives, a very clear and decisive forecast for the future of this industry just snaps into focus.
The next decade is an existential race. Full stop. The legacy automakers, the ones built on a century of mechanical brilliance, have to transform their core identity. They have to become tech companies, deep down in their DNA. If they don't, they'll be pushed aside and become nothing more than low-margin hardware suppliers for the software-native companies that will actually own the customer.
And that brings us to the central, high-stakes question. Can a massive industrial corporation, with all its history and processes built around hardware, really pivot its entire operational DNA to compete in a software-first world? And can they do it in less than a decade? The clock is ticking.
Which leads us to our final question. As the vehicle becomes a rolling subscription platform, who's going to capture the real value? Is it the traditional automaker who manages this epic transformation? Is it the tech giant who supplies the operating system? Or is it the huge commercial fleet operator who owns the end-user service?
For data-driven automotive analysis, support our work by subscribing to AutoRead. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next breakdown.